Okay, good morning, everybody. Happy Sunday. What a pleasure to see you. Beautiful weather. I see that some people took their jackets off. Okay, Baruch Hashem, Baruch Hashem. Okay, first of all, we start, today is August 10th, and it's one day after 15 of to Be'av, which is 16, of course. Yesterday was a very important day. We'll talk about it later, B'ezrat Hashem. And I want to do the usual, to thank Hashem, that give us good health and get us together here to learn some Torah. And then, of course, I'd like to thank you guys, all of you, and everybody that helped him in different ways. We appreciate every support that you give us. It's very important. And of course, we cannot forget the technician, as you know, B'ezrat Hashem. So we're starting now the second Torah portion of the book of Deuteronomy. Very, very important. I mean, the whole Torah is important, but here we have many, many subjects. We can touch some of them. One of them, before we start, we're also starting a 7 weeks of, we had 3 weeks of very bad, situation that we had in the history. And we were like mourning and the destruction and everything. But now we're moving on to 7 weeks of Nachamu, of consultation. Yeah, that's what it says here. And we know that the prophet Isaiah is telling us the very good prophecies that is going to happen soon. As a matter of fact, I don't know if you visited the UN in New York, but they're quoting something from, I think, from the Isaiah, when it says there that, I'll just give you quickly, I saw, to show you the time that you're going to have soon. If people like it or not, that's what's going to happen. It says here that the wolf will live with the sheep, and the leopard will lay down with the kid. There will be no animosity, there will no cruelty. Even the scariest animals can come to our door, whatever, and they're not going to hurt us. Can pet them. And if a leopard or wolf can sit with a sheep, with a goat, then you know that that's tranquility and peace. Nobody is going to do anything wrong anymore. It's going to be the best time of life. That's what Hashem wants to give us, but really it's up to us. So as we said, we're going to start the 7 weeks from after Tisha B'Av to Rosh Hashanah, that the prophet Isaiah is trying to tell us that things will change to the best, and it's really everything depends upon us. We have to make the change. Hashem is waiting for us to do the right thing. And if you read the Torah portion, Vaytchanan in English, I don't know, it's kind of a strange word, but I guess people are familiar with this word. In Hebrew, it's like to plead, like to beg Hashem. When Moshe Rabbeinu was asking Hashem 515 times to pray to him, to ask him to enter the Holy Land. So the translation is, I implored Hashem, like I was begging Hashem to listen to my prayer, all my praise. So Moshe Rabbeinu tries very hard to enter the Holy Land, and Hashem told him that it's not going to happen. Not only that, Hashem told him, you better stop praying to me. And he said, Rav Lach. You know what's Rav Lach? Rav is, enough. That's the idea. But also Rav in Hebrew is a lot. What does it mean, a lot? Moshe Rabbeinu, don't worry. You don't have to go to the Holy Land. You have so much merits. Just forget it. Just go, whatever I tell you, and you'll be happy. So that's one of the idea when it says Rav Lach, enough is enough. Hashem meant also good things from Moshe Rabbeinu. So we're going to see many, many good things about this Torah portion. There's something that I wanted to mention. I don't know if you paid attention. I did not for many, many years. Twice in the Torah that the Torah mentioned the 10 Commandments. One time we received the 10 Commandments during Jethro in the book of Exodus, right? And then we see it now in the book of Deuteronomy, the Torah portion of Vayetchanan. There's some changes, some different things between the two description that we have in the Torah. I'm going to give you only one difference thing that we saw, and it's very interesting. In the first time we received the Torah, in the Torah portion of Jethro, in the fifth commandment, it says, "Kabed et avicha veit imecha." You should respect your father and your mother. Right? That's very. It says here, honor your father and your mother. Okay, but in the book of Deuteronomy with the Ten Commandments, there's something different. It says here, you should honor your father and your mother as Hashem, your God, commanded you. Why do we have this additional few words? And the first time it didn't say, like as Hashem, your God, commanded you. Very interesting commentary on that. The first time, kids supposed to respect and honor the parents no matter what. This is very logic. But what happens if the parents did not do anything for the kids? Nothing. The kid managed to grow without, be dependent on the parents. Will this kid have the same responsibility to respect them? That's the question. What happened in the desert? In the first, when they just came from Egypt, then the kids felt that the parents were there, they were doing everything for them and took care of them. But for the 40 years, when all the old generation died, the kids, the Torah says clearly, they got food from heaven. They did not have to change the clothes. They did not have to change the shoes. Everything was ready for them. The parents almost did nothing for them. So maybe you would say, you know what? Okay, you're my parents, but what did you do for me? Except bring me to this world. Okay, thank you for that. But Hashem said, no, you have to make sure that even if they don't give you anything or whatever.
Hold on, they're saying there's no audio. Hold on.
No, somebody says no audio. Okay. It's very good to talk to myself, even if you don't hear. So, but
yeah, they can hear you.
Yeah, you can. They can. Okay. All right. We thought for saying it that you don't hear me, but it's okay. All right. Anyway, so the idea is you have to fulfill this commandment, this mitzvah, to respect regardless, because Hashem tells you to do, and you must do it. And this is something, and no discussion here. We have to respect our parents, even if they did or they did not do whatever they tell us here. The idea is that basically that the parents are responsible for us to bring us to this world, and we have to appreciate that. And of course, we have to act according to the rules to make them feel good that they did the right thing. Many children, unfortunately, don't fulfill this commandment, and it is really not good for the society in general, not only for the family, society in general. And there's we read this one time before, and I mentioned that it says when Hashem gave us Shabbat, He said that we have to respect the honor of father and mother, and to keep Shabbat. So what's the connection? Is that Hashem is the father of everybody. So if our parents tell us to do something on Shabbat, we cannot, and we have to respect what they tell us. But if they ask us to do something against the Torah, we cannot do that, because Hashem is the father of everybody, and we have to listen to Hashem more, to our parents, if they tell us to do something against the Torah. Okay, so that was one difference that we have in the Ten Commandments in Exodus and the Ten Commandments here. There are some other differences. I wonder if we can find some others and let me know. I'll be very happy to discuss it with you. So, Be'ezrat Hashem. So, Moshe Rabbeinu, as everybody knows, when we said it before, he was teaching the Jewish people everything that he could in order for them to enter the land and to do the right thing with Hashem, so they will deserve what Hashem really want to give them. Now, there's something very important, chapter 4 in Deuteronomy. It says that we cannot add or subtract anything from the Torah. You know, unfortunately, about 200 years ago, something like that, the reform movement in Europe started to come up, you know, to do something, you know, with all this, whatever they were trying to do. And they thought that they're smarter than Hashem, and they started to do things in the Torah. And as we know, we have different movements in Judaism that they don't follow the right thing. It says here very clearly, if something is perfect, there's no point to change anything. Like they say in English, I don't know, maybe in America, it says if it ain't broken, something like that, don't fix it. Right? Something like that. So it's not that it's not broken, it is perfect. It's divine, it's from God. So how can we come as a human being and say, oh, Hashem, you know what? Now we're in 2025, maybe these things is not really applied to our life. No way. Hashem said something 5,000 years ago and 3,000 when we received the Torah, and that's it. Hashem knows better than anybody else. So it said clearly, do not even try to change, to add, or to subtract anything from the Torah, because that's not the right thing to do. So that's one of the things that we see in the Torah portion of Vayet Hanan. Then we see something that, you know, it is, I like to say this kind of expression, it's a nuclear information. And I think they should really put it all over the world that people will know that they cannot compete with us. They can try, but they're not going to succeed, because that's what the Torah said. You know, there's so many people in the world, I don't know how many billions, 6, 7, 8, I don't know. And the Jewish people are really maybe the smallest nation. However, there is it's a promise, it's a fact that Hashem made it this way, because even though we are the smallest nation in the world, or one of the smallest, but there is a guarantee here, and we can see it on a daily basis. It says that the Jewish people, sorry, they are the smartest people in the world. Look how it says here. I mean, if you like it or not, that's the way it is. I mean, we not, you know, we did not made this idea. Hashem gave it to us. So look what it says. If you will, let me read it in English here to be easier to understand. If I find it, you shall safeguard and perform all these commandments, and surely all the nations in the world will say, surely a wise and smart people in this great nation. So the whole world is going to say, unbelievable, look at these people. Rak am chacham v'navon, am hazeh. Smart and wise that you cannot imagine. So what is the idea here? You see, you don't have to be multiply like with millions and billions of people to be strong. You can be strong with quality. When Hashem said, "I'm going to make you a lot like the stars in the sky," it really did not mean the quantity. It meant the quality of the people. And as you know, in any field today in this life, Jews are involved. Either they develop something new, or they're involved to develop something in the medical life, in science, in everywhere. They have the Jewish brand is there, and people know that. It's not a secret. And now, instead of appreciate that around the world, many countries they this, this they say that they decide not to do any business with Jewish companies. It basically it's a really hypocrisy. They're using the medicine that we developed in Israel, and they say don't buy this medicine. What's the point here? So one day they'll wake up and they'll see the truth. But meanwhile, we continue what we have to do because Hashem gave us this ability to help the world, regardless of the people. And there is another thing that's very, very important. And I wish that people, especially Jews all over the world, will read this quote that I'm going to read to you, and you see how life is going to be so easy, so sweet, and so great. And we really don't have to do any major physical work. It's very simple. I mean, is it very hard to put the tefillin? I don't think so. Is it very hard to keep Shabbat? No. So what's the problem? How come all the Jews all over the world don't follow what the Torah says? See? And this is something that we have to understand. Why? Listen to this guarantee. It's only one guarantee that Hashem gives us among a lot of guarantees. But I just want to read it because this is in our Torah portion. And it comes in chapter 4, verse 40. Look what it says. Very simple, very easy. I mean, every Jew with a chicken IQ can understand that. It's not a problem at all. I mean, really, if you just grab it in kindergarten. It says here, let me read to you, you shall observe his decrees and commandments that I commanded you, okay? So that he will do good to you, to your children after you, and so that you will prolong your days on the land that Hashem promised you. What else do you want? Us, good for our children, long life. And then I think I read it to you many times about the prophecies that how the whole world is going to come to us and really serve us with love, not with animosity, not with hatred. Everybody, the whole world, even the biggest leaders of the world, they will understand that we are the chosen people and they have to serve us with love. Okay? So why not to do that? Why not to keep the Torah and mitzvot? And Hashem will say, you know what? Imagine any father, okay, really loves to give only good things to the kids. Otherwise, why to have kids, right? But when the kids don't behave the right way, then, they have consequences. So that's what it says, that our deeds and our way of life, that really influence our future. Now, there's something that I don't know if I mentioned it to you, but if I did, I think it's really important to mention it. It says in the Torah portion of Hanan that before we receive, after the two commandments, the Jewish people were afraid to listen to Hashem and were afraid to die. So Moshe Rabbeinu was standing between them and God as the mediator to receive the rest of the commandments. In Hebrew, it says Anochi. Anochi means it's me, I am. I am standing. I am standing between you and God. But also in Hebrew, Anochi means, as I told you, I think once before, is my selfishness. My selfishness. First of all, I have to take care of myself, then the rest of the thing, which is the Torah or God, whatever. If somebody is so selfish and not see anything else, only himself, it is very hard to keep Torah and mitzvot. Because why to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning to go to pray if I can sleep till 10? Why should I eat only this and this and this when I can eat something else? So the selfishness stops a lot of Jews from seeing the truth. And this is unfortunate because we really, we have to be united as one nation and follow the rules, and Hashem will give us everything that He can give us, which is a lot. We don't see it this way, but Hashem has a lot to offer us. And I mean, it's clear. We saw that in many places in the Torah. There's one more thing that I would like to share with you, which is everybody's asking these questions. Everybody, you know, I mean, all the people in the world, not only Jews. And Hashem gives us the answer here. The Torah gives us the answer. I don't know how people will take it, but this is what it says clearly here. Moshe Rabbeinu asked God, "Can you please show me how you run your business here? I mean, how come wicked people are so successful and they have everything in life and beautiful life, and on the other hand, some righteous people they suffer instead of being the opposite, the other way around." So it says here something really very clear, and if you pay attention, maybe it's hard to understand. Let's say you keep all the Torah mitzvot, and you don't, you're not doing so great. You're okay, but not, let's say, not poor. But you see your neighbor, a wicked man, and he has everything in life. I say, Hashem, excuse me, Hashem, I don't understand what's going on here. It says in the Torah, if I do everything, I'll get everything. But I don't see it working this way. So listen to the idea. Hashem says to the people, especially to the enemies, his enemies. He said, God's enemies deserve the reward of good things that they did in this world. They deserve their reward, no question about it. God does not, he doesn't deprive anybody. Everybody gets what they deserve. However, they get their reward in this world, but they are going to suffer in the world to come. Now, this world is only temporary world. So, okay, let's say 100 years, they are doing the best. But then, for forever, they're going to suffer. On the other hand, the righteous people that they suffer here, kind of suffer, they're going to have beautiful life in the world to come. Since we believe in the world to come, okay, so we have to see it as the reward that Hashem is really prepared for us. That's why we cannot argue with Hashem. Hashem knows better than us. And if something bad happen today or tomorrow, whatever, we don't know what's going to happen after that. Only Hashem knows. And we have to trust Hashem 100%. King David said that in his book of Tehillim over and over again. And the King David suffered, I don't know, more than anybody in the world, I think. And yet, he had the emunah, and he had the confidence Hashem does only the best for us. And that's what he said all in any psalm in Tehillim, to show us that he knew what he was saying, and we have to learn from him and from other forefathers. Baruch Hashem. Any questions?
Morning, Ramiro. How you doing?
Baruch Hashem. Thank you.
Thinking about what you were saying about the pasuk about honoring father and mother as I commanded you, could it be that statement was directed to, for example, the children of Korah?
Well, what did they do? As a matter of fact, the children of Korah, it says that they did teshuvah, So and it says clearly, even if the father, let's say, righteous, Korah was a righteous man. He had, ability of Ruach HaKodesh, and he knew the Torah. He was very a smart man. However, who gave him the idea that he can go against Moshe Rabbeinu when Moshe Rabbeinu was the representative of God? He was a rebellion. He could not do that. So the children were supposed to follow the father, respect your father, as it says in the Torah. However, I think somehow, somewhere, toward the end of the story, they realized that his father couldn't do that. He could not go against Moshe Rabbeinu. And they understood that they had to regret what they did, even though they were with the father all along. But at the end of the whole incident, they did teshuvah and they said "Bnei Korach lo metu," which is they still kind of show us the right way. You have your father to respect, as I mentioned before, but you have God, that He is the father of your father and your father of you, and the father of all the Jewish people, and we have to follow Hashem. And even if we have a false prophet, we have to be careful not to follow the false prophet. It's very important.
Well, yeah, because and this is I haven't really given much thought, except for I was thinking last night, looking at both the Shemot and Devarim Pesukim. By the way, if the rest of the folks have a Humash, it's where am I? Chapter 20 of Shemot and chapter 5 in Devarim, the Ten Commandments. And I was looking down, checking all each one, and might be completely wrong, but could it be that Adam, considering just the Ten Commandments, could it be that he committed or he broke all those commandments? And the reason why I say that is because he, by eating the fruit, by not obeying Hashem, didn't he in a way wanted to be like Hashem? That would be Avodah Zarah. Lying or talking bad about his, blaming his what's her name? Eve. Wouldn't that be Lashon Hara and yada 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 yada?
So
Am
you
I
once said that Adam, the first man,
Yeah.
he did not obey anything, and he was going against Hashem. Well, one of the answers that most of the commenters will say, he did not have any obligation to anything because there was no Torah and there was not even 7 mitzvot yet. So he did not really know what to follow. Now, however, because Hashem created him directly, he was not born. He is supposed to know better than that, and he should know whatever Hashem told him to do, he has to follow. However, it tells you right there that when Yetzirah is there, when Yetzirah is come to tell you or to convince you to do something, it tries to tell you like you're doing something good, something right, to convince you to commit a sin by telling you that it's not a sin. It works since then till today. He has the same way of convincing people to sin by showing them that really they're doing a mitzvah, but yet it's a sin. And we know that there's many stories. However, Adam Arishon, he should know better, not to follow not his wife and not to snake. However, I guess the influence of the snake at that time was greater than his ability to reject everything that is around him. But he wouldn't be able to take over, to control the world. He was stronger than what we know today. He was very intelligent, more than what we think today. However, he was still he was made by Hashem, and something that you create cannot control you. There's no way. If you think about it, you can create whatever you can create. They never can control you because you are the creator. So no, I don't know. He made some mistakes, of course, that he didn't listen to Hashem and he was punished severely. But there was no chance that he will take over.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Oh, thank you very much.
Okay, I see that everybody is hungry. Okay, please go have something to eat and rest, and we'll see you, B'ezrat Hashem, next Sunday, Beli Neder, if the Mashiach will not come before. Okay, and next Sunday, I think B'ezrat Hashem will have some news to tell you, but you have to Wait till I tell you. Okay, thank you very much. Be good. Be
Thank
happy.
Thank you.
Take
Thank you,
care.
Rabbi.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank
Welcome.
you, everybody.
You're very welcome. Take care.